Well, another red day for me. Here's my daily recap. Let's get into it. Head over to the charts. So this is the 1 hour chart, the NASDAQ here. I'm just pointing this out here so that we can see the range that we've been trading in for the last week. Okay, we've been stuck in this range, hopping around our support here at 19.5-ish. Okay, support slash resistance, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever chooses to be that day. So I started my day off by pointing this out, all right? And this had a lot to do with my decisions today. And then I'm going to show you something that I completely missed that one of the members in my Discord pointed out to me, which I'm very grateful for. You gotta look, right? You gotta look. And I'm talking to myself. Gotta look. Always look left. So anyway, let's zoom in here. On the 15-minute chart, you can see that on the day we are bullish. Okay, nice support here at the bottom in previous sessions, and then we had a very, very nice push to the upside for most of the morning. All right, so zooming in here, we waited for market open. This candle right here is New York session open, which we basically immediately moved to the upside and blew right past the previous highs of the day back here, which was market pre-market of New York session. Okay, and making higher highs, new highs of the day, and pushing outside of this large range here. Okay, that's what this whole blue area here is. That's that big range that we've been trading in. So let's take this into consideration. Okay, so I watched market continue to push up. Very, very nice, strong push, nice momentum here, leaving behind an area of imbalance. My initial strategy for this was to wait for price to come back into this area of imbalance. I wanted a nice slow return because I knew if we got this big push down that it's less likely to maintain, right? So I wanted this to be respected, which would be also testing previous highs, and then we can continue to push to the upside. We did not get that, and we blew right through it, as you can see here. This is what I did not want to see. And I did state that, and this is important actually for later, okay? So we ended up coming back into this area of imbalance that we left behind first thing in the morning, also at market open, okay, with the third candle. We wicked into it, had a very nice strong push out, okay? So I said, all right, maybe we just came back, grabbed a little liquidity here, and we had a nice push back to the upside. This is where I took my first trade of the day. We pushed right past through the area of imbalance here, okay? So I ended up taking a long position here with my stop loss below the area of imbalance, all right? Targeting initially previous highs and hoping that we'd continue to push through. As you can see, that ended very quickly. Came right back down, wicked out, and then continued to the downside back into this area of imbalance here, where we ended up having some support here, which ends up aligning with the previous day highs, Friday's highs. Okay, got some support here. Once again, I said, okay, keeping with the trend of the day overall was up. Okay. I said, all right, let's see if we can continue to push up. Got some decent movement, some choppiness here. We did leave an area of imbalance behind here on the way down. So I said, okay, we'll use this as an inverse area of imbalance. We get a strong push out of it, close. And then I watched this candle play out here, and I watched it come back, and it closed pretty decently here, okay? So I hopped in right there on the very next candle. Again, stop loss below the area of imbalance, looking for previous highs. We stayed in this for a little while. Ultimately, as you can see, we did not have enough to continue to run to the upside and maintain staying outside of this range that we're trading in. And we ended up getting stopped out again with a very, very strong push to the downside. Okay, those are my two trades today, two red trades in a row. I call it a day. Um, in hindsight, and thank you for my members pointing this out to me, what I should have noticed, and I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff here for now, just to clean up a little bit here. The reason why I didn't want to see this big push to the downside after we had this strong push to the upside is a lot of times when you have a strong push in one direction, especially if you're making new highs or new lows, and you get an immediate push back to in the opposite direction, a lot of times that's a good indication of a liquidity grab. Okay. Well, it has been brought to my attention that if you take a look at the 4-hour chart here, and I'm going to get rid of this range here for a second. What I'll do is I'll just put a line here so we can see what we were looking at before. Okay, so this is the top of the range that we've been trading in. If you look, we do have an area of imbalance that was left behind last week. Friday, Thursday, yeah, last week, and our initial push down into this range that we traded in all week last week. Now, this changes the entire picture here. You can see here now, this is a bearish fair value gap, right? Or area of imbalance is what I call them. Um, you can see how we pushed into this area of imbalance and we immediately push right back out of it. Liquidity grab in the fair value gap in the area of imbalance. Okay. And then continue to push right below the top end of our range that we've been trading in. So this, if I was paying a little bit more attention to the overall chart, the larger time frames, okay? This 100% was a liquidity grab inside this area of imbalance here, okay, before continuing to push to the downside. Now, if I had seen that before and I had marked this out as it is now, we could have most certainly, number one, not traded longs. Okay. Like I was trying to stay with the trend of the day. Um, but with this here, I wouldn't have traded those long positions because we're in an area of imbalance here, right? And we're respecting the area of imbalance once, twice, three times. We could have most certainly taken a short on any of these here, even if we did this one here with the first signs of um, a reverse here, and we would have done very well. We would have done very well. So, lesson for today is to keep your eyes open on those larger charts. And I looked too on the live. I went back and I looked, and I just didn't, I didn't pick up on this, but this is a good catch here. This is a really good catch here. Bearish area of imbalance that we came into, filled just about halfway, and pushed right back out of. It's a nice catch. Changes the entire picture here. We had a nice uptrend all day on Friday to end the week on a higher note, and then we opened today right around the same area and then continued to push up. So in my mind, I was thinking, maybe we have some upside now after we've been trapped in this range for a week. But in reality, all we were doing was chasing liquidity left behind in this imbalance. We were moving up to balance the imbalance. And that right there is the root of the stock market. um, so in hindsight, again, and this is the reason why I do these is so that I can look back and see, where things went wrong and make those changes for the future, pay my dues. In reality, or in hindsight, this right here was the trade. Should have marked this out right from the get-go. Waited for price to come into it. If it respected it, which it did, you play that on the way out. So really nice catch. Really nice catch. Thank you. You know who you are. This is why we have the Discord, so that we can talk to each other and point out different things. More eyes are better than just my set, right? And your set. We have a discussion about things, and yeah, this person pointed this out to me after my live session today, and I looked at it, and then I came over to my chart and I looked at it, and I'm like, damn it, totally right, totally right. This was a fantastic catch. Um, I definitely will be keeping my eyes open much better. So another negative day today. I'm pretty far down into drawdown in my account now, as you can see. Um, but I'm not giving up. With that being said, tomorrow's another day. Two negative trades for me in a row is my max for the day, so that I ensure that I don't go above my max loss for the day, so I don't blow my account. Um, so that ended that today for me. Tomorrow's another day. We'll be back live tomorrow. Hopefully, we can have a little bit of a better day and get ourselves out of this mess here a little bit. Keeping in mind that Wednesday we do have FOMC. So this is it, with all of that combined, right? If you look at the grand scheme of things here, right? You have this area of imbalance that we pushed into, grabbed liquidity, pushed out of, and you can see that on the 1 minute chart, the 15-minute chart, you can see it, um, and push back into this range that we've been stuck in, which makes sense for us to stay in because we have FOMC on Wednesday. So the market really isn't going to make any kind of major moves until we get our rate decision, which I don't think is going to change, and the market is at 100%, probability that we're getting no rate cut. But the market wants to see that data come out, okay? And then we have our press conference with Mr. Powell. I call him Daddy Powell because he moves the markets. And depending on how he comes out, whether he's dovish or hawkish, and then depending on how he answers the questions from the press, we always get movements in the market from that. And then after that, we may actually get a little bit of some direction in the market. Where that's going to go, who knows, right? It doesn't really matter. But what I'm saying is it makes sense that we stay in the range that we've been stuck in for the past week. So for me to try to take trades out of that range today when there really isn't any reason for the market to do that, especially with FOMC coming up on Wednesday, mistake on my part. So, one, thank you for pointing that out to me. I appreciate you. Let's continue to have our conversations. And two, make sure you are always looking at your larger time frames, study them well, draw out what you need to draw out on your large time frames, then zoom in and look for your entries. Simple. I know this. Sometimes we miss things. We're all human. Anyway, that is my recap for today. I'm going to be doing these every day after my live session because I think this is a little bit easier for you guys to follow instead of having to scroll through the live session afterwards for those of you that watch later. And also for me to be able to actually do my recap and say it out loud so it sticks with me better. Right? So, appreciate you watching. Thank you for all my subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. We are still growing this channel at a really, really nice pace. We still have like 88% of you that watch my content that have not subscribed yet. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. I'm asking. We can grow this channel. We can continue to help each other. You guys help me. I help you. And we will continue to grow this community, the community that I'm building here so that we can all become successful and then in turn help others do the same thing. That's my goal. So thank you for that. If you guys are interested in joining the free Discord, link is in the description down below. That's it for today, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow in the live session. Have a good day. Stay green.